Bob Lafort. I'm the president of what we call Infineon Americas, which basically means for all of our operations in North and South America, which is a little bit over 6,000 people. So Oktobertech is a way to take our German heritage and bring it to our Silicon Valley innovation. So it's really a forum for us to get together with customers and talk about what's happening in the world of technology and innovation. And it's really an exchange of ideas. That's really the power. But of course, it's Oktobertech, so we play off of October. Yeah, thanks for that question. So you talk about first about too many products to name. I like to say we have the broadest portfolio in the industry, and our focus is really on system solutions, what we like to say working eye to eye with our customer, being an integral part of their development. But if you talk about trends, decarbonization and digitalization. Never has the risk of global warming been more clear and more severe. And we have the technology to be able to enable solutions. So our ambition is nothing less than saving the planet. So we're doing lots of different things for decarbonization. Of course, in automotive, we've got a lot in electric vehicles. We are a prime supplier, over 50% market share in powertrain components for electric vehicles. And then other areas, charging for those electric vehicles. And then, of course, renewables to produce the energy to charge those electric vehicles. So we are the largest provider of power modules for solar inverters and wind inverters. And then even things you don't think about, like transmission and distribution and load balancing and high voltage DC transmission. So we're in there as well. And then maybe some of the smaller things you don't always think about, your power tools, they're going battery. We make the energy efficient controls to be able to do that. So that's the decarbonization piece. And then digitalization, we see it more and more. It also will help to save the planet if you think about things like smart metering and other types of smart products, connected products that are going to help us to be more efficient in what we do. You know, there was a politician who once said, conservation cannot be an energy strategy. And at Infineon, our motto is do more with less. How can we help our customers to provide products that allow you to live a comfortable and efficient life with all the technology to make it yet more energy safe, energy clean? Well, certainly the things you know about. The electric vehicles, we continue to see more and more growth in that area. So even if car sales go down, you're seeing more and more content come that way. And then autonomous vehicles, another area where more and more technology to make driving more safe, more efficient, and quite frankly, more clean. So there, you'll definitely see big trends. Then if you look in some of the other areas, you see more and more in the IoT side. How can we make smart homes, smart meters? How can we bring those to be mainstream rather than to be the leading edge of techie guys? So a lot of stuff going on that side as well. So those are the two areas. We certainly see more and more need for data. So things like servers and what's going on there, working in the cloud, you'll see a lot more there. And how can you make that more energy efficient as well? So a lot of different areas that we see coming there. But I think that decarbonization and digitization are a nice overarching theme for where we see the growth opportunities.
All right, Mark, my name is Lars Ulrich and I'm the Senior Vice President for Automotive, so heading the Automotive Division in the Americas. Yeah, definitely. So I always say like kind of right now is the most important or the most interesting time to be in automotive because we're going through this transformation. So semiconductors are ultimately the heart of the vehicle, right? So we're becoming more and more into kind of like driving computers. And this definitely, if you look into like kind of the two mega trends of like kind of decarbonization and digitalization, and those are the two elements which we're really focusing on. We have a couple of areas which we show. So in the decarbonization area, for example, we have a great demonstrator which shows of how we optimize energy in the battery. So our battery management system is a huge area focusing on really optimizing the entire system of focusing on the highest level of efficiency. On the digitalization, for example, if we're thinking about autonomous vehicles in the future, we have a demonstrator here which shows basically to detect interior movement, so basically occupant detection, which is very important as we're basically looking into autonomous vehicles. You need to basically know where is the person in the vehicle if you deploy, for example, certain safety strategies in case of, for example, emergency braking or like even in a crash situation or near crash situation. Sure. So Mark, what we basically, as I mentioned earlier, we take a very holistic approach, right? So we take a look at the system, and we have actually an activity defined which we call ease of use. So we basically, from the digitalization point of view, when an engineer is looking for a solution, going to our website, he or she can basically look into what kind of solution or what kind of problem do they have, what kind of solution can we offer for that, and then basically navigate through the website of like what kind of component would they need. And this is in the first level service, but then it goes deeper, right? It goes into like kind of the consulting of like kind of our technical experts sit together with the engineer in order to derive the most optimum system solution for them. And this could consider multiple elements from like microcontrollers to gate drivers to MOSFETs to the sensors to really take an integrated approach into the design end.
I think Oktobertech as usual, it's a cool event because in the end, it's not so much about only demonstrating what Infineon is capable of, which is a lot, obviously, but it's really to connect and to work together, right? And I think that was also the theme of Oktobertech, to do the things together, because in the end, only all companies together will be able to achieve what we need to achieve for the difficult things that we are tackling, being it the climate change or being it urbanization and things like that. So first of all, as you know, Meta is going to deal with the smart home, right? And in the smart home, there are obviously a lot of very different devices, right? In the past, it was kind of difficult because there have been different vendors who are trying to connect to other vendors, and it really didn't turn out. And it was a lot of effort. So if I would be a manufacturer of a smart camera, I would have to adjust my camera to a lot of different systems. Now the industry came together, 280 companies actually came together to define a standard. And like with every standard, you get interoperability. You make sure that devices can work with each other while still you keep the opportunity open to differentiate, right? Because that's obviously important. Differentiation will drive innovation. But as a vendor, I now can focus on my innovation, and I don't have to make sure that I fit into different systems, right? But it's also important for the consumer, so the one that's building the smart home in the end, because you can be assured that the devices last long. You are not dependent on just one single vendor, and if he runs out of business, then you basically are stuck. But here you can basically combine different things. And I think that's what open standards are all about, and that's why we are really looking forward to this, also to the big event that's gonna come up in beginning of November in Amsterdam, where it's really officially then launched. I think so. First of all, there's quite some product categories that are put together now in Matter, and there will be a new set of product categories coming in. And obviously we also provide quite some things into it. So we have a lot of sensors, we have a lot of microcontrollers, we have the connectivity that you need, and also we have the security. Obviously, as you can imagine, security in a smart home is of utmost importance. So that's one thing. But what comes in additionally, and that's also where Infineon has kind of shaped its strategy towards, is it's about systems, right? So a lot of software questions need to be solved, how you can combine all these products and make them work together. And in the end, this standard, let's say smart home, is also has then the possibility to really help us with the problems that I mentioned before. So, for example, if a smart home is done right and things are talking to things and work together, they can help, for example, elderly people to live longer self-contained at home. right? And they basically, because the devices are supporting it, there might be even some robots, or the home is calling for help if necessary. So this is one of the examples. Another example could be contributing to less energy consumption, right? Buildings are meant to use like up to 40% of the energy that we use, and if you can reduce here, that's a significant advantage. And there's a study that says you can reduce it by 30%, right? So that's an immense amount of contribution to the energy consumption that we have, and with this to the climate change. So the first thing, what I also like that the Matter standard, security was taken in from the beginning as a concern, right? Which is super important because you can't add security at the end. My example is always, if you bake a cake, you can't change the flavor of the cake afterwards, right? When the cake is done. So you have to do it, you have to think about the flavor from the beginning, you have to think about security from the beginning, right? That's the first thing. So it's part of the standard, and there are some really good state-of-the-art things that are built into this, right? And there's a second important thing. The end user, so the owner of the house, we have to assume that they don't have enough knowledge to secure themselves. So that means we as the industry have to provide devices in a way, together with a standard, that this security is dealt with. And I think that's an important piece. So part of this is now done in the standard, and that's why we also participated. So we've been part of this security working group here. And then the second step is then to really do good, secure, robust devices that then serve the purpose and really make this a success.
Hi, I'm Rick Wilmer, the Chief Customer and Operations Officer at ChargePoint. We're the largest EV charging infrastructure company in the world, the dominant player in North America, also serving 16 countries in Europe. And Infineon is a major supplier of key components that we use in our charging systems. We rely on Infineon to build all the chargers that we build. We're growing very quickly, and we have a great partnership with Infineon, and the October Tech event helps us build that relationship and strengthen this partnership to help us grow into the future.
Hi, Vince Graziani, CEO of IDEX Biometrics. We're a partner company to Infineon, and we really value that partnership. As a matter of fact, Infineon talks about providing complete solutions and not just components. At IDEX, we also believe in that, and the proof in that is a true partnership. IDEX, we do fingerprint biometric sensors, which are interesting, but all by themselves are not really a solution. Together with Infineon in their secure element group doing secure microcontrollers, we're able to bring a complete solution for a contactless biometric smart card to market. This card is now out in the market, certified by Visa and MasterCard. So truly a win-win partnership. Solution jointly developed by Infineon and IDEX, hardware, software, complete turnkey, and certified out in the marketplace. So we do really value the partnership, and we value events like this that Infineon runs, because it gives us an opportunity to get to know the various people and the team at Infineon. And just already today, I found 2 or 3 other groups within the company that can work together with us in our technology. So thanks a lot for giving me a chance to say hello.